Saturday, and we read from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll sing Lord, Lord Chaitanya with Nityananda. Jaya Jaya, excuse me, my allergies. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paripati A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paripajigacharya Asasata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Anantakoti Vaishnavich Anantakoti Vaishnav Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sikho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Ramakunda Ganga Devi Ki Koki Devi Ki um Koki Devi Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mayapur Ki Sankirtan Yajna Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Gaur Premananda Ki All glories to some devotees. All glories to some devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Jnana Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Thank you. So today we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 8, and we are on text number 256. Very, very long chapter. 250. I mean, 250. Oh, yeah. I was told 258. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you didn't finish the purport. You said to two on 57, 257. Okay. Um, so where should I just start? Okay. So text 257. And so, first of all, a little prelude here. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is inquiring from Ramananda Roy, and he's asking him, like, what's the best? Like, what's the best topics for people to listen to? Ramananda Roy replied that hearing about the loving affairs between Radha and Krishna is most pleasing to the ear. And Lord Chaitanya asked, among all worshipable objects, which is the chief? Ramananda Roy replied, the chief worshipable object is the holy name of Radha and Krishna, the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay. So that's a little prelude, which this is, I believe, the most lengthiest chapter in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, with all of these different questions and answers in this chapter, where the Lord is putting himself really in the position of like a disciple. Thank you. You didn't want to close the window, right? Number. Sorry. Got a little. All right. So now for the verse. And what is the destination of those who desire liberation and those who desire sense gratification? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Roy replied, those who, okay, um, those who attempt to merge into the existence of the Supreme Lord will have to accept a body like that of a tree. And those who are overly inclined towards sense gratification will attain the bodies of demigods. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Those who desire liberation by merging into the existence of God do not desire sense gratification within the material world. On the other hand, they have no information about serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Consequently, they are doomed to stand like trees for many thousands of years. Although trees are living entities, they are non-moving. The liberated soul who attempts to merge into the existence of the Lord is no better than the trees. Trees also stand in the Lord's existence because material energy and the Lord's energy are the same. Similarly, the Brahman effulgence is also the energy of the Supreme Lord. It is the same whether one remains in the Brahman effulgence or in the material energy, because in either there is no spiritual activity. So here's a very interesting sentence. Better situated are those who desire sense gratification and promotion to the heavenly planets. Such people want to enjoy themselves like denizens of heaven in gardens of paradise. They at least retain their individuality in order to enjoy life. But the impersonalists who try to lose their individuality and love both material, also love both material and, um, let's see, lose. Yeah, what did I say? Sorry. Um, they at least retain their individuality in order to enjoy life, but the impersonalists who try to lose their individuality also love. Oh, my books. I have an old book. It says love. Huh. I thought I know I thought it was unusual, but also I see. I was thinking they try to lose, but they want it all. But they also want so. See that they say we shouldn't edit the books. What? Yeah, right. That's funny, isn't it? So all right, lose material and spiritual pleasure. I have a pencil in there. The stone is immovable and has neither material nor spiritual activity. As far as the hardworking karmis are concerned, Srimad Bhagavatam states, let me just change this here, lose. From 11:10:23, Istveha devata yagyai Svalokam Yatiyanikaha Unjita Devatat Tatra Bhogan Divyan Nirarjitan. After performing various sacrificial rituals for elevation to the heavenly planets, the karmis go there and enjoy themselves with the demigods to the extent that they have obtained the results of pious activities. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9:20-21. Trividyamam soma paputa pada yagyayar ishtva svargatim prathartyante te punya asaja surendra lokam ashanti divyan divideva bhogan te tam bhuktva svargalokam vishalam shine punye marcha lokam vishanti evam trayi dharma manu pranana gata gatam kama kama labante. Those who study the Vedas and drink soma juice, seeking the heavenly planet, worship me indirectly. They take birth on the planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. When they have thus enjoyed heavenly sense pleasure, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, through the Vedic principles, they achieve only flickering happiness. Therefore, after finishing the results of pious activities, the karmis again return to this planet in the form of rain, and they begin their life as grass and plants in the evolutionary process. So, what a sentence here that Srila Prabhupada is saying that better situated are those desire sense gratification and promotion to the heavenly planets. So much do our acharyas vehemently oppose this impersonal merging into the Lord and denying the like as a person. So much they are opposed to that better sense gratification than that, because at least one retains their individuality, whereas the impersonalists, they want to lose their own individuality and all pleasure, material and spiritual, because they are unaware of the pleasure derived from devotional service and a personal relationship with the Lord. So not exactly that it's promoting sense gratification for sure, but still it's better of the two evils, can say. All right, text 258. Ramananda Roy continued, those who are devoid of all mellows are like the crows that suck the juice from the bitter fruits of the nimber tree of knowledge, whereas those who enjoy mellows are like the cuckoos who eat the buds of the mango tree of love of Godhead. Purport: the speculative of empiric philosophy is as bitter as the fruit of the nimba tree. The tasting of this fruit is the business of crows. In other words, the philosophical process of realizing the absolute truth is a process taken up by crow like men. The cuckoos have very sweet voices with which to chant the holy name of the Lord and taste the sweet fruit of the mango tree. Such devotees relish sweet mellows with the Lord. Mm. So we see that Nimba, like Lord Chaitanya, he's born under a neem tree. So Nimba is very bitter. So, but the crow-like men, they like to taste this. We see that there's something for everyone. There's so much. The philosophical process is taken up by crow-like men because it's very arduous, very difficult, very time-consuming, and especially in our short lives in Kali Yuga. Ramananda Roy concluded, the unfortunate empiric philosophers taste the dry process of philosophical knowledge, whereas the devotees regularly drink the nectar of love of Krishna. Therefore, they are most fortunate of all. In this way, both Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy passed the full night relishing the mellow of Krishna Katha, topics about Krishna, while they were chanting, dancing, and crying. The night ended. So crying, we see there so much emotion was invoked by this process of chanting, dancing, and crying. And so this is just the two of them, together. And it's not necessarily like kirtan, congregational chanting. Even two people is a congregation in a way, chanting with one other. And so the more because here it was very focused, Krishna Katha. It was very much in the questions and answers process, and it was, very deeply relishable for them, we can see. So they both stayed up the entire night, and the next morning they both departed to perform their respective duties. But in the evening, Ramananda Roy returned to meet the Lord again, because we know when they first met, Ramananda Roy had a huge entourage with him, like 1,000 men and brahmanas, just for him to take his bath. So then they decided we better meet in private because they both went into ecstasy meeting each other, and of course the others couldn't understand what was going on. All right. So then that the next evening, after discussing the topic of Krishna for some time, Ramananda Roy caught hold of the lotus feet of the Lord and spoke as follows. There is transcendental variety in talks about Krishna and Radharani and their transcendental loving affairs, humors, and pastime. Ramananda Roy then admitted, you have manifested many transcendental truths in my heart. This is exactly the way Narayan educated Lord Brahma. Purport: the heart of Brahma was enlightened by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Vedic information given in the Svetashvatara Upanishad 6:18. Yo Brahmanam Viradati Purvam Yo Vaivadamscha Pranino karoti tasmai tamha devam atma buddhi prakasham mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapaje. Desire liberation. There's another one, right? Because I desire liberation, let me surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who first enlightened Lord Brahma in Vedic knowledge through Lord Brahma's heart. The Lord is the original source of all enlightenment. There are other references given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So and here it's mentioned, Canto 2, 9, 30. So here are the wonderful 30 to 35. So what's happening is this is after the the Lord has revealed, like, this is very important, and it will be elucidated. It'll be further um, explained here how one doesn't get transcendental knowledge just on their own. So here is it's about Paramatma, how the Lord in the heart is the one giving this knowledge. He gave this knowledge to Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma was very grateful, and he said that, "Oh my Lord, on board, you have shaken hands with me." Imagine Krishna shook hands with Lord Brahma and told him, thank you for this mammoth service that he's about to perform of being the co-creator, as if in an equal position. Because of course, we don't usually hear so much about shaking hands, but a lot about bowing down and about embracing according to the status of one's relationships. And he said, "I'll be engaged in all these different types of creation of living entities, and I'll be occupied in your service. I'll have no perturbation, but I pray that all this may not give rise to pride, as if I were the supreme." So here's Lord Brahma, the most intelligent living being in the material creation, and given this tremendous service, and then praying. Here he's praying, that I don't want to become proud, because here I'm like the co-creator. All these living entities are lying dormant in the body of Mahavishnu at the time of the annihilation, and now my job, my service, is to find the appropriate bodies for them based upon their past karma, their past activities, their past desires. So Brahma's praying in this way. And then Krishna told him that in response, that knowledge about me in the scriptures, it's very confidential, and it can't be realized just by reading the scriptures. It must be realized in conjunction with devotional service. And says, so he's saying that I'm explaining all of this to you, so take it up carefully. And he said, all of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities, and activities, let all be awakened within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy, because it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value If it is without relation to me, has no reality, know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created, and at the same time, I am outside of everything. So here is this Lord Brahma and the Supreme Lord Krishna having this conversation. And then, so here Prabhupada says in these references, like how wonderful how Srila Prabhupada is giving references to support this verse about many transcendental truths, like how Ramananda, speaking, but he knows I'm speaking, but you're the one in my heart telling me what to speak. You're giving me the knowledge and the proper way to convey this. So then that was 2 9 30 35, and then 11 14 3. The Lord tells Lord Brahma that, over time, this knowledge already um, was already existing, but then because of such a long lapse of time, after annihilation and all, it became lost. So again, I'm speaking this knowledge to you. And then 12:4:40 tells how this, it's the beginning. In the beginning of the Bhagavatam, we meditate upon the supreme absolute truth, Lord Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, and then the very end of the Bhagavatam, also meditating upon the supreme absolute truth. And that's also this 12, um, 13, 19, which is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's explaining here, Prabhupada's giving these references. So this is how, just like the lawyers, they, study their law books and then they can give references from this section and that section. So we see how it's so delightful to find references for particular verses. So, text 265. Ramananda Roy continued, the super soul within everyone's heart speaks not externally, but from within. He instructs the devotees in all respects, and that is his way of instruction. Here, purport, here Sri Ramananda Roy admits that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the super soul. It is the super soul that inspires the devotee. Therefore, he is the original source of the Gayatri mantra. In the Gayatri, it is stated, Om. So now, I think everyone in this room has Brahman initiation. But so here's the first line of Gayatri. Om Bor Bhuvasva Tat Savitor Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Savitri is the original source of all intelligence. That Savitri is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 2:4-22. Prachodita yena pura Parodita yena pura saraswati vitan vatadasya sachim smritim hridi swalakshana praduravud kilashaya same vishina vishava prasidatam. May the Lord, who in the beginning of the creation amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with full knowledge of creation and his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma, be pleased with me. May the Lord, who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma. This was spoken by Shukadev Goswami when he invoked the blessing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead before delivering Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Pariksit. So we see, although Shukadev Goswami heard this Srimad Bhagavatam um, from his father Vyasadeva, and he's not thinking, I know all this and I can deliver this, but he's invoking the blessings of the Lord that he will be able to deliver, because it's explained there in the 12th canto that because the Srimad Bhagavatam was delivered, how Lord Krishna said, I first imparted this knowledge unto the heart of Brahma. Oh, that's the next verse. And how so any speaker of the Srimad Bhagavatam, they're representing the Supreme Lord himself. And it's as if the Supreme Lord is speaking, because he's the original deliverer of transcendental knowledge. So now everyone knows this next verse. You can chant with me if you like. Srimad Bhagavatam 111. So Janma Jasya Yaton Varaditar Chartesh Rabhigya Svarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muyanti Yat Sorayaha Tejo Vadi Midam Yata Venimayo Yatra Trisargo Misha Damna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Sacham Param Dhimahi. I offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna. Now, we've heard this verse hundreds of times, but we see every time we hear it, there's so much to meditate upon in this one verse. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur spoke for 30 days on this one verse, and of course could have spoken a lot more. So, okay, so I offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, who is the supreme, all-pervading personality of Godhead. I meditate upon him, the transcendent reality, who is the primeval cause of all causes, from whom all manifested universes arise, in whom they dwell, and by whom they are destroyed. I meditate upon that eternally effulgent Lord, who is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and yet is beyond them. It is he only who first imparted Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahma, the first created being. Through him, this world, like a mirage, appears real even to great sages and demigods. Because of him, the material universes created by the three modes of nature appear to be factual, although they are unreal. I meditate, therefore, upon him, the absolute truth, who is eternally existent in his transcendental abode and who is forever free of illusion. Purport, this is the opening invocation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now we see right from the beginning, there are many people who desire, like since Srimad Bhagavatam is sweet like sugar cane, no matter where you taste it. So let's taste the 10th canto, and let's taste especially the 5 chapters dealing with the rasa dance. And that's very relishable and very easy to picture and to feel like within one's mind to be able to experience some pleasure from reading those. But no, right here, number 1 verse establishes first the glories of Krishna. Just this one verse, by realizing this, meditating upon this, studying this one verse, then so, and also like Shristi Lila, creation, and we meditate upon that like, wow, Krishna is that powerful personality who's able to do this. He truly is the Supreme Lord. And just because of him, like all of this is happening, and how the creation and annihilation and everything appears to be factual, although they're unreal. It's his illusory energy. Like when we just can hear about the greatness of the glories of the Lord, then we have a better understanding of who he is when we hear of his human-like activities. because otherwise, what we do, what we do is transpose our experiences onto Krishna, like that. Like, yeah, like thinking Krishna has all these girlfriends. Yeah, you used to have girlfriends too, and so we equate it to our experiences. That's why it's very important to hear Tristi Lila, the creation and the potency of the Lord. Of course, in Krishna Lila, we hear how every day he effortlessly killed demons. So, so that's also his greatness. Not that he just danced with the gopis in the dead of night. So Ramananda Roy. Now here, Lord Chaitanya, all this time, he's the one asking questions. Now Ramananda Roy is going to ask a few questions. He said that, but um, he had one doubt within his heart, and he said, "Please be merciful upon me, and just remove my doubt." So this is, we see this exchange between them. It's not that all the time, that although Ramananda Roy knows that Lord Chaitanya is the supreme, still there's this kind of dialogue, and he's answering questions, and now he's asking questions. So this is like such a wonderful friendship. And who is Ramananda Roy in Krishna Lila? Right, Vishaka, the most close, close, intimate friend of Srimati Radharani. And what'd you say? Also Arjun. So, so Ramananda Roy then told Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "At first, I saw you appear like a sannyasi, but now I am seeing you as Shama Sundar, the cowherd boy. I now see you appearing like a golden doll, and your entire body appears covered by a golden luster." Purport: Shama Sundar is blackish, but here Ramananda Roy says that he saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear golden. The lustrous body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was covered by the bodily complexion of Srimati Radharani. So he's seeing now Krishna form. Lord Chaitanya is revealing his Krishna form, but it's golden, not bluish, golden form. I see that you're holding a flute to your mouth, and your lotus eyes are moving very restlessly due to various ecstasies. I actually see you in this way, and that is very wonderful. My Lord, please tell me without duplicity what is causing this. So, only like people want to see God, right? I don't believe in God because I can't see him. So I'll believe when you show me. When I see him, I'll believe. But we say the other way around, that first you believe, then you'll see. So the Lord, it will be explained how he reserves the right of not being exposed. It's not that one can demand, "I want to see you, then I'll worship you, then I'll believe in you." But no, it's his prerogative when he's pleased, that he can reveal himself. So he's saying, now I actually see you, but what's causing this? So Lord Chaitanya says, you know, that you have a deep love for Krishna, and one who has such deep ecstatic love for the Lord naturally sees things in such a way. Please take this from me to be certain. So, he had a devotee advanced on the spiritual platform sees everything, movable and inert, as the Supreme Lord. For him, everything he sees here and there is but the manifestation of Lord Krishna. The Mahabhagavats, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything, mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. Wow. So this is purport. So sees everything. It says not just their forms, but he actually sees the form of the Supreme Lord. Um, so we have it's a rather lengthy purport. Okay. Due to his deep ecstatic love for Krishna, the Mahabhagavat sees Krishna everywhere and nothing else. So at this stage, we practice seeing Krishna everywhere and make a conscientious effort. But for a Mahabhagavat, it's just automatic. But we practice. But here, all right, and we know Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Vidayeshu Vilokayanti. As soon as a devotee sees something, be it movable or inert, he immediately remembers Krishna. An advanced devotee is advanced in knowledge. This knowledge is very natural to a devotee, for he has already read in Bhagavad Gita how to awaken Krishna consciousness. According to Bhagavad Gita, Vasoham Apsikonteya Prabhasmi Sashishoraya Pranavasa Vedeshu Shabdake Purusham Rishu. O son of Kunti Arjuna, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. Krishna is making himself available, telling us how, here you go, here's how you can see me. Thus, when a devotee drinks water or any other liquid, he immediately remembers Krishna. For a devotee, there is no difficulty in awakening Krishna consciousness 24 hours a day. It is therefore said, Stavara, Savara Jangama Deke Nadeke Ta. Jai Shri Chaitanya Stavara Jangama Deke Nadeke Taramurti. Savatra Haya Nija Ishtadeva Spurti. A saintly person, an advanced devotee, sees Krishna 24 hours a day and nothing else. As far as movable and inert things are concerned, a devotee sees them all as transformations of Krishna's energy, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Bhumir aponalo vayu kammano puta evacha ahankara iti yame bina prakritirashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these 8 comprise my separated material energies from Bhagavad Gita 7:4. Jai. So actually, nothing is separate from Krishna. As soon as when a devotee sees a tree, he knows that the tree is a combination of 2 energies, material and spiritual. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Jai. Haribol. Thank you. Here you go. This is 274 and right there. 4. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Govindam Adipurusham Aham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Aham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Aham Bhajami Enam Kanvanda Maravindadalaya Tatam Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundaratam Kandar Vidamaniya Kisesa Shobha Govindam Adipurusham Aham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Aham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Aham Vajami Andaniya Sasakalen Priya Pritimanti Vasyanti Vikayanti Jira Praganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vikrasya Govindam Adit Purusham Namaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Namaham Bhajami Adit Purusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kora More Daya Kora More Toma Bina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar Tavavana Hetu Avatar Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaiveya Ida Prabhu Napaiveya Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Balokana Koro Ami Boroduki Lakana Koro Uki Doya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Gosai Koro Sita Pati Advaita Tava Kripa Bale Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Chaitanya Nitai Aha Swarupanatana Rupa Raghunath Bhatta Juga Sri Jiva Prabhu Lokana Prabhu Lokana Doya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Prabhu Srinivas Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamada Narottamada Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koromore Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koromore Toma Bina Kedayalu Jagat Samsare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Nandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya My dear Lord, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned fallen soul, but I assure you that you will not find a more fallen soul than me. Therefore my claim is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss, since you always appear very happy. I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, I may also become happy. My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be kind to me. If you are kind to me, naturally Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. I pray for the mercy of Sri Damodar, the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Bhatta Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Bhatta. Pray to the merciful Chaito Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vicharanam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratibanam Brunamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tat Prapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Dordaiva Midrishami Hajjani Raga Trinada Pisunichena Torora Pisahishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Trai Nanda Tanajokiram Patitam Mam Vishame Karam Bhava Kribayata Vapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sajashim Vachintaya Nayanam Galashu Daraya Varanam Gad Gada Ridaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishyavapadam Ratam Banastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatata Vinditolampato Mat Prananatastusa Evanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. But my Lord, you have given us these holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain.
and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he's always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Shastika Ki Jai.